What is going on, guys? This is Son of Steel back at it again with a brand new video. And as the title shows, week 1 of the NFL season predictions. So we are just a few days away to the regular season. Cannot wait to see uh, more NFL football. And obviously, a lot of changes going around in the NFL, especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which we all saw Big Ben retire, GM Kevin Colbert retire. Both those guys will someday be Hall of Famers. So, um, for this season, I will be doing uh predictions from week 1 to week 18, and I will see about doing predictions for even playoff predictions. So that is definitely in the works. So we'll see about that. And for now, let us get started with the week 1 NFL predictions. So first off, the kickoff of the season, the kickoff for Thursday Night Football, the Buffalo Bills taking on the Super Bowl reigning champs, Los Angeles Rams. So this is going to be my prediction. Um, this is a very tough team to call, especially who's going to win this game. I mean, these teams right here are like the heavyweight undisputed champions when it comes to like Buffalo or the Rams. I mean, they're both basically like heavyweight boxers at this point. I mean, you Buffalo and the Rams have a really good high octane offense, and they have a really good high octane defense. So very, very hard to call on this one. But if I have to predict, I am have to go with the Los Angeles Rams. Um, it'll be very interesting with Kevin O'Connell no longer the offensive coordinator for the Rams. He has left the Rams to take the head coaching job for the Minnesota Vikings. And of course, you know, the Rams have a ton of talent, especially with Cooper Cup, who absolutely blew it up last year. Was over 2,000 yards, and the Rams just had an unbelievable season. But when it comes to the Bills, uh, they're going to have a very interesting season. And guess what? Brian Daboll, offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, took the job for the New York Giants. He's no longer with the Buffalo Bills. So they're both in the same situation when it comes to new offensive coordinators. Um, anyway, uh, I mean, you have uh, additional players brought in. I would say like Allen Robinson, which is actually going to be a wild card for the Los Angeles Rams. It really did shock me to see them pick this guy up. He's definitely a proven player when he's healthy, though. Um, and then Buffalo, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. I mean, this guy is a fucking superstar, and especially with Stephon Diggs, and they both have very decent offensive lines. So again, I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Rams. Very close matchup, 24-20. Okay, so we will move into Sunday. The first game is the New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. So what's my prediction here? Um, the Saints are a decent team, especially they added a couple, they added some players. They had a very interesting draft, and free agency. They ended up getting Chris Olave. Jameis is back at full strength and full health. They got Jarvis Landry. Michael Thomas is expected to be back healthy after a 2-year absence because of his health. So hopefully, Michael Thomas will live up to his reputation and help this team win some games. So, and the Falcons, though, um, of course, we all know, Matt Ryan no longer with the team, and they now have a new quarterback with Marcus Mariota, and they also brought in the 8th overall pick out of USC, Drake London, to help out that wide receiving core uh, that is so badly depleted. Remember, Calvin Ridley suspended for gambling on his own team. Russell Gage no longer with the team. I mean, Kyle Pitts is basically their only guy. But when you add someone like Drake London to that addition, I mean, you're going to get more targets and more targets for Marcus Mariota or even oh god, what's his name? Uh, Desmond Ritter, to throw the ball to. I mean, I think Marcus Mariota will definitely be the uh, leading quarterback for the Falcons, but I gotta say, the Falcons just aren't the same team. I mean, they have just been downhill. Their offensive line is terrible. Their defense is terrible. Probably in the bottom 5 uh, defenses out there. I mean, they're just not that good. Um, so if I had to guess, I'm gonna go with the Saints on this prediction just because I think they're going to be a little bit more decent than the Atlanta Falcons. My prediction for the Saints and Falcons game, 28-13. Okay, so moving on, the San Francisco 49ers taking on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears in Chicago. So, what is my prediction here? I am definitely looking to go for the 49ers. I just think they're still a much better team than the Bears. I think the Bears just got a lot of work to do. Especially the Bears now have a new head coach in Matt Eberflus, who was the defensive coordinator for the Colts. And when Eberflus was the defensive coordinator for the Colts, I mean they were top 5 tier. Uh, they were top 5 defense in the league. I mean they were that good. So I feel like Justin Fields has a lot to prove as a quarterback. Of course, David Montgomery is coming back healthy, and honestly, I don't even know who's their wide receivers. So, a little depleted on their receiving, and but I feel like they could focus on the defense more just because Matt Eberflus is that defensive coach guy. So, and of course, on San Francisco, Trey Lance will be the head of the quarterback for San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo restructured his contract with San Francisco to stay with the 49ers. So basically, what that means is he's not going to get traded or cut. Most likely, what's going to happen to Jimmy Garoppolo, uh, I think he is going to be on his way out to look for a new team. Uh, right now, there's just no quarterback market for Jimmy Garoppolo at this time. I mean, there were teams out there that would really wanted Jimmy Garoppolo's talent, but just because he has a large contract and what San Francisco want teams to give up to get him is just way too much when it came down to who wanted Jimmy Garoppolo. So he was forced to stay. So um anyway, I think Trey Lance is definitely a great quarterback. He's got a lot to prove, and of course, he's got a lot of weapons. George Kittle. They got Debo Samuel's back. Brandon Ayuk is in the mix. So, um, I feel like San Francisco will be that dominant team once again. I am just going to go with the 49ers just because I think they're a better team than the Bears. So, San Francisco 22, the Bears 16. Okay, so here we go, Steeler fans. The moment y'all been waiting for. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. So, unfortunately, that's who they are. So, where do I see this prediction going? I mean, as you saw last year and the year before, Cincinnati has just gotten Pittsburgh's number. I mean, they beat us 3 in a row, and especially, I mean, they obviously became the much better team, and of course, the Steelers rebuilt their team, and so did the Bengals. The Bengals addressed their offensive line very well to add a guard, a tackle, and a center in free agency. Pittsburgh really stacking up that defense that I was really impressed about. The offensive line, though, I've seen them in preseason. It is still atrocious. I mean, the offensive line is just fucking disastrous. I mean, I don't even know who some of these guys are. I mean, we brought in Mason Cole, who is a center of unknown origins, who basically was drafted in the 6th round by the Cardinals, gets traded to the Vikings, and then released, and then we added him as our potential starting center. And of course, we added James Daniels in our guard position, which obviously I was glad that we actually ended up getting some veteran talent like that, because James Daniels is definitely a decent guard. Especially, we ended up getting some new guys. Jesse Davis that we recently traded for from the Vikings, no surprise right there, to possibly play guard in our position, in that position. And of course, we know who's the quarterback for week 1 and above, and it is going to be Mitchell Trubisky. So, as much as I want to see Kenny Pickett go out there and play, because he's definitely turning some heads during the preseason. Of course, he broke the rookie record for highest rating for a quarterback, and that was actually previously broken by Dak Prescott of the Cowboys in 2016. So um, he definitely got a lot of skills. Kenny Pickett does. I just don't want to throw him into the lion's den when it comes to the NFL and getting himself like killed and stuff by pro players. I would just wait it out, see what Mitchell Trubisky can do, and if he gets injured or he's just not that good, I say that would be the best time for Kenny Pickett to go in there and show him what we got, because we did the same thing with Tommy Maddox in 2004. Guess what happened to him? He got injured, and we brought in Roethlisberger, and he became our superstar. So I am hoping that happens with Kenny Pickett. So this is the reason why the Steelers got Kenny Pickett to be a future quarterback. And I do believe Pickett has a lot to prove for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So anyway, um, with my prediction, I am definitely gonna go with the Bengals. I just think they're just too good of a team. They've had our number, uh, and they have just been absolutely slaughtering us for like the past 2 seasons. Joe Burrow, absolute stud, and Jamar Chase is just a juggernaut. Nobody can freaking cover this guy, especially like nobody. Joe Mixon, another guy, absolute juggernaut as well. Defense got a little bit better. So, uh, my prediction for this game, Bengals win 27-17. Okay, so next up, the Philadelphia Eagles at Detroit Lions. Where do I see this going? I am definitely going to take the Eagles. I just think they're a better team, and they have brought in some really good players. AJ Brown is now with the Eagles. That the Titans traded him away to Philadelphia just because they couldn't work out a contract for him, and Eagles did. So he's going to be a long-time Eagle. So hopefully, if he stays healthy, I mean, AJ Brown is definitely going to be a stud as well. And of course, recently they acquired what's his name? Chandler Chauncey Gardner from the Saints. So another cornerback, and then cornerback Bradbury. So they're loaded up on cornerbacks right now. So and of course, I mean, they already have their next quarterback in Jalen Hurts, which I've heard a lot of good things about Jalen Hurts and saying that he's about to break out uh, this year. And uh, the Eagles were a very surprising team uh, last year. I mean, they brought in a coach that was the former offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, Nick Santorini, if that's how you say his name. Uh, Absolutely utilized Jalen Hurts to his full potential, and they're going to be doing the same thing with Jalen Hurts this year. I got a good feeling about Jalen Hurts. So obviously they're putting weapons around him. They're rebuilding that defense because obviously I think the Eagles definitely trust Jalen Hurts and what he can do. So Lions, they've always been the crappy team. They have always been the crappy team. So but they had a very interesting draft this year. They ended up getting their hometown hero Aiden Hutchison, who could absolutely be a superstar probably in a couple years, or maybe even this year. They ended up getting Jameson Williams from Alabama. They traded with the Minnesota Vikings, but uh, guess what? He is injured, so he probably won't be ready until later this season, which I don't know when exactly. So, um, but the Lions right now are at that rebuild stage. I mean, they have always been at that rebuild stage. So, I am definitely going to take the Philadelphia Eagles just because I just think they're a better team. 24-12, Eagles win it. Okay, so the New England Patriots take on the Miami Dolphins. So what is my prediction for this game here? This is a very interesting game. Of course, Mac Jones, decent. He ain't no Tom Brady. Um, I feel like the Patriots will still have this, but at the same time, the Dolphins absolutely brought in some decent help. Especially they ended up trading with the Chiefs to get Tyreek Hill to go along with Jalen Waddle as another wide receiver Tua Tagovailoa can actually throw it to. And I believe that it will be a very interesting game. I think it might be a close game here. So just watch the Dolphins and Patriots utilize their own teams, but I'm going to give my edge a little bit, a slight edge to the New England Patriots, just because you got Bill Belichick as coach, and I just think it is just going to be close, but I could be wrong on this one. I'm still going to take the Patriots on this one, 21-17. Okay, so the Baltimore Ravens taking on the New York Football Jets, and of course Zach Wilson will not be playing in that game. In the first week of the season. So where do I see this prediction going? Obviously, when you have no Zach Wilson, I mean the team's not good, but the Jets had a very interesting draft this year. I mean, they added 3 first-round players, including Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, and even Jermaine Johnson. So, I mean, they obviously rebuilt their entire team. They used a lot of draft picks to rebuild this team, including free agents. And of course they brought in Brees Hall, who could absolutely be one of the best running backs in this draft class. So I believe the Jets quarterback behind Zach Wilson will be Joe Flacco. I think Joe Flacco is definitely going to be a little familiar with his old team, but uh, I'm just going to give my edge to the Ravens. Although uh, the Ravens just has so many problems, both on the offense and defense. Lamar Jackson, sometimes he can't even stay healthy. The running back core, very questionable. J.K. Dobbins, uncertain. They brought in Kenyon Drake. They brought in Mike Davis, two veteran players that they could utilize as their new running backs. And as we saw last year, they utilized Devontae Freeman as their next running back. So he did decent. So and also on defense, cornerbacks is definitely a question mark. I don't know where Marcus Peters is at. They added Kyle Hamilton to their safety line, and he's going to pair up really well with Chuck Clark with that defense, that secondary. Uh, My only concern is the Ravens just don't have any good receivers. I mean, they got rid of Hollywood Brown, and he got traded to the Cardinals during the 2022 draft. So, um, when in doubt, throw it to Mark Andrews if they are going to win this game. But uh, it will be very interesting. You have Joe Flacco facing his own team, and then the Ravens trying to utilize their own team on both sides of the ball. Uh, how they're going to win this game. But I feel like the Ravens will take it. And I am predicting it to be 17 Ravens, the Jets 13. Okay, so next up, it is the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Washington Commanders. I mean, seriously, the Commanders. I mean, you had so much time, uh, like a year to come up with a new name. That's the fucking name you come up with. Wow. I hate to be a Washington fan. So, anyway, moving on. Where do I see this going in this prediction? Um, Obviously, I gotta go with the Commanders on this one. Of course, they upgraded their quarterback. They ended up getting Carson Wentz from the Indianapolis Colts. He's definitely going to uh, be I mean, he's a better option than Tyler Heineke or even Sam Howell that they drafted this year. Um, I, 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 I really don't know about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz to me has always been a big question mark ever since he got injured in Philadelphia and he played his last days in uh Philadelphia. He gets traded to the Colts, and of course that didn't go well with the organization, and he was just a bad burden on that team, and it cost them a playoff run when they absolutely just blew the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which uh pushed our team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, into the postseason. So um he's definitely a big question mark to me, and but I feel like the Commanders uh, will have a better offense. I don't know about Chase Young coming back. I don't know when he's coming back. I don't know if he's even at full strength or even healthy back. I don't think so. So I feel like he'll probably be back later this year. Um, but they did ended up getting another receiver by the name of Jahan Dotson from Penn State, who basically reminds me of another like Deshaun Jackson. Basically, I mean they obviously uh, have a speed receiver, and of course they ended up re-signing Scary Terry McLaughlin of the Commanders, and he'll be back with the Commanders as their possible number one receiver. So, anyway, the Jaguars. They've just been a team who always loses and just has not been living up to full potential. They had that one year wonder, one hit wonder. Uh, that one year when they had Blake Bortles and they almost went to the Super Bowl that year. So, Trevor Lawrence getting some new guys, getting some new offensive help, and of course, Travis Etienne, their first round running back, who will go along with uh, Trevor Lawrence. He's back at full strength. He'll be ready to go. So I'm excited to see what ETN brings to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I have to go with the Commanders. I just feel like they are a tad bit better on offense and defense. My final score for this game is 24 Commanders, the Jaguars 13. Okay, so this is a game I am very excited to see. The Cleveland Browns taking on the Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield traded to the Panthers in what you call a very ugly divorce in Cleveland and Baker Mayfield. So, where do I see this prediction going? As you know, and as people pretty much heard, uh, what Baker Mayfield even said, that Baker Mayfield even said he's gonna fuck them up. I mean, he's gonna fuck them up bad, and I feel like this is going to be a one hell of a revenge game, and I feel like the Panthers and Baker Mayfield is going to get the last laugh. So, uh, I think Baker Mayfield is absolutely talented. When he's healthy, he is talented. When he's not or inconsistent, he's not that good of a player. Um, I mean, look, I mean, he's getting better players. He's getting a better wide receiving core. He's getting a better offensive line, including the new guard that got drafted by the Panthers, Akeem Ikwanu from North Carolina State. So right in their own backyard. So Browns, I just think their season is pretty much over before it begins. Deshaun Watson, suspended for 11 games. He won't be back uh, until I guess week 13 against his old team, the Houston Texans, which obviously that's a little weird to get off suspension to face your old team. So I honestly believe that this suspension should have been longer. And I mean, Deshaun Watson himself is just no longer that great quarterback he used to be. But ever since he gotten himself into trouble legally, he's just not been the best quarterback. He took a year off because he wanted to be traded out of Houston. Nobody wanted him because of the ongoing allegations against 26 women. And of course, that got settled out of court, unfortunately. Uh, but still, uh, Deshaun Watson is basically leaving a very bad taste in both the NFL and the Cleveland Browns' mouth. I just feel like he's just not that good. I mean, I even seen Deshaun Watson play a few plays in preseason. He couldn't even throw the damn ball down the field. I mean, he missed it wide to a player. I just think Cleveland made the biggest mistake they had in their franchise by getting rid of Baker Mayfield. I'd say Baker Mayfield is better than Deshaun Watson in every way. I just think Deshaun Watson is absolute trash. And his glory days is officially over. So we don't even know if Deshaun Watson will even have a career before his debut with the Browns begins. So I don't, or better yet, um, if he's even going to be in Cleveland or any NFL team, probably the next couple years. So we will see how it goes, but I am definitely going to go with the Panthers on this one. I say Baker Mayfield is going to get his great revenge on his old team. Panther 31, the Browns 10. And not to mention, uh, the Browns have Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback uh, when Deshaun Watson is on suspension. So I say Jacoby Brissett is a decent quarterback. I just don't think he's great. So there you go. Anyway, moving on. The Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans. Where do I see this going with this prediction? Honestly, I have to go with the Colts. I just feel like they're still going to be that decent team. They brought in Matt Ryan in. I feel like Matt Ryan is going to have a resurrection of his career in Indianapolis. As you saw, Matty Ice has been getting his ass kicked in Atlanta, left and right. He has not been the same guy ever since Super Bowl 52. He has not been the same guy. Um, but you give him a little change of scenery. You give him a better receiving core. You give him the number one running back in the league of Jonathan Taylor and a better offensive line as well as a top five defense like the Colts. I think Matt Ryan is definitely going to be a great quarterback. So hopefully he doesn't suffer from the nightmare of the 28-3 scenario with the Colts. So we're hoping for that. So the Colts are actually hoping for that. So uh, uh, the Texans, however, I say they're in the rebuilding stage. They brought in Lovey Smith, who we know was the former coach of the Chicago Bears, who brought the Bears to the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 41. So I say Lovey Smith is obviously a uh, defensive coach guru. I think he's going to utilize that team on defense. And they brought in Derek Stingley as their first pick. I feel like they should have went with Sauce Gardner, but I think they just loved Stingley much more. So, Davis Mills, I mean, he's decent. He's getting up there. I think he is better than Deshaun Watson. That was the 1 year ago. Deshaun Watson, who came in and went in to be that starting quarterback. I just feel like I just feel like the Colts are going to be a better team uh, for this game. But I feel like this is going to be a competitive game since Colts sometimes have been struggling with the Texans. So my final prediction will be the Colts uh, 27, the Texans 20. Okay, so next game. We are into the evening hours. So the New York Giants taking on the Tennessee Titans. Where do I see this prediction going? I am definitely going to take the Titans on this game. Um, I think they are a much better team than the Giants, although the Giants have brought in some pro players, including what's his name? Thibodeau. Yes, Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon, but he may not even make it to week 1 of the uh, first week of the game. They brought in Evan Neal to actually boost up that offensive line to give Daniel Jones extra protection and give Saquon Barkley a blocker to run past to get more yardage. So Saquon definitely have a dilemma this year. I mean, he just has not been the same guy ever since the past few seasons. He's been injured. He just has not been the same guy ever since. But I feel like the Titans are going to be, I'd say they're going to be decent. Um, of course, they get Derrick Henry back. They got Treylon Burks to replace A.J. Brown. Um, hard to say, but I have to go with the Titans on this one. So the Titans 21, the Giants 16. Okay, so here we go. The Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. So where do I see this prediction going? Um, that is a very tough call for me. But I feel like I am going to take the Vikings over the Packers. Just for the reason that Aaron Rodgers just does not have Devontae Adams anymore. He no longer has Devontae Adams. He got traded to the Las Vegas Raiders to help Derek Carr out, his former college teammate. So, what did the Packers do to get receivers for Aaron Rodgers? So they brought in Christian Watson. Alan Lazard is probably going to be their next guy. Vontez Valdez Scantling is gone. Um, and they brought in Romeo Dubs from Nevada. So, um, it's just I feel like the Vikings are just going to be a little bit better, just because uh they're going to be getting Dalvin Cook back, so he'll be at full strength. Justin Jefferson is going to absolutely tear it up against Green Bay. I mean, Justin Jefferson basically fell into Minnesota's arms when the Philadelphia Eagles basically passed him up. And of course, the irony of this is just a few days ago, the Vikings even acquired Jalen Reagor, the wide receiver that they selected during the draft where Justin Jefferson was. So he's now in Minnesota. So that's basically fucking irony right there. So, uh, Kirk Cousins getting an extra receiver, some speed right there. Uh, and I feel like the defense is going to be a little bit better for the Vikings. So, and they added Andrew Booth, they added Lewis Sign, and of course, I believe Green Bay is definitely going to struggle this season uh, with literally wide receivers unknown. Um, I just feel like the Vikings is going to win this game 28-24 Vikings. Okay, so moving on, the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Arizona Cardinals. So, where do I see this prediction going? Uh, I definitely see the Kansas City Chiefs uh, definitely winning this game. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Um, although you gotta question the receiving core. He no longer has Tyreek Hill. I mean, they brought in Juju Smith-Schuster, the former Steeler. They brought in Martez Valdez-Scantling from the Green Bay Packers. Uh, bit of a wild card. They brought in Sky Moore uh from the draft, who basically is like another Tyreek Hill. So, um, and also they brought in some defensive help with George Karlaftis from Purdue, beefing up their defensive line. So, uh, but when it comes to the Cardinals, um, it's definitely going to be a question mark for them. They signed Kyler Murray to a long term deal. Um, I just feel like they brought in Marquise Hollywood Brown to their team, and of course DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for the next 6 games, so it will be a little bit hard for them to utilize the receiving core. I mean, but they do have some other guys that they could actually use. So, uh, James Conner revitalized his career in Arizona after being the Steelers running back. He got his 3-year extension contract. So I'm definitely happy for James Conner for revitalizing his career in uh, Arizona. So don't forget, Connor Strong, he will always be a Pittsburgh Steeler in our hearts. So congratulations, James Conner. So, uh, but all I have to say is if Kansas City can utilize their wide receiving core, their new wide receiving core, I feel like they are going to be the most dangerous team in the NFL. They are going to be the dark horse of this team, of this AFC. I just feel like they're probably going to be. It's going to be a tough division in the AFC West. So you have the Las Vegas Raiders in there. You have the Chargers in there. Uh, in that division. So anyway, I am going to say the Chiefs 20, the Cardinals 17. So, all right. The next game, the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Los Angeles Chargers in uh, LA, Inglewood. So, where do I see this prediction going? We saw during the final game of the 2021 season. A playoff spot was on the line. And of course, this game went into overtime. And both these teams were just so damn competitive. But at the end, you had the Las Vegas Raiders who punched their ticket into the playoffs. So I see this as a tug of war battle between these two rivals. This was one of the best games I saw last year. I mean, it was literally a heavyweight boxing match between these two guys. So, Chargers, they ended up getting Zion Johnson to beef up their offensive line. I mean, they're getting a really good offensive line right now. So, they added Khalil Mack into addition. Derwin James will be back. He signed a contract extension, becoming the most expensive safety in NFL history. So, uh, even bringing in what's his name? Jackson from the Patriots. Sorry. But yeah, they bring in cornerback Jackson from the Patriots, who is an absolute pro when he played for the New England Patriots. I see him doing the same thing in Los Angeles when you are pairing him up with God, the other corner. Damn it. Sorry, guys. I don't even know the other cornerback who it is. If you know, let me know. Anyway, I am going to definitely take the Chargers on this one. I just think they're just, I think their offensive line is a little bit better. And, I feel like they have home field advantage. So, my final score for this game, the Chargers 34, the Raiders 31. Okay, so Sunday night football. Our first Sunday night football game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers takes on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. So, where do I see this prediction going? I'm definitely going to still stick with the Bucks. I mean, it's Tom Brady. They brought in some wide receiver help. They brought in Julio Jones, who basically has some left in the tank, and I think he would be a wild card for Tampa Bay. They brought in Russell Gage from the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, his receiving core is just absolutely loaded with wide receivers. And of course, you got Leonard Fournette. He's got some trouble, probably some weight problems, as you guys heard earlier in the season. So hopefully, I believe he'll probably uh, uh, straighten that out and maybe lose some weight and even gain some power to his physique and become a really good running back. Dallas, guess what? Amari Cooper, no longer with the team. CeeDee Lamb, now that number one receiver. Do I believe CeeDee Lamb could be that number one receiver? Yeah, I think he can. I feel like they're just going to be all over the guy, although you got Dalton Schultz at tight end, who will uh, basically be Dak Prescott's security blanket. And I'm just gonna go on a limb here. Tampa Bay, all the way. Also, they do have a top five defense. My final prediction for this game: the Buccaneers 24, the Cowboys 17. Okay, so let us finish off the first week of the NFL season. The Denver Broncos taking on the Seattle Seahawks. So, it is Russell Wilson's former team he's playing against. He's now a Denver Bronco. Where do I see this prediction going? I am definitely going to go with the Broncos. I feel like Russell Wilson is absolutely going to destroy his former team. I mean, who does the Seahawks have? Drew Lock, Geno Smith. Geno Smith is the named starter for the Seahawks, but I just don't think he's that good. I really don't. And the same with Drew Lock. Yeah, but Drew Lock has his good days and bad days. That could change uh, for the next probably few weeks or so, or even half the season. Um, I just feel like Denver brought in all these young guys and very talented guys to Denver, including veteran Russell Wilson. And of course, he's got better receivers now with Cortland Sutton, and they have Jerry Jeudy. They have Javonte Williams in their running back, as well as Melvin Gordon. He's back. So I just feel like Russell Wilson is definitely going to get the last laugh in this game. So, my final prediction for this game is the Denver Broncos 33, the Seattle Seahawks 24. All right, guys. So there you go. That is my prediction for this uh week week 1. So for this season alone, I will be doing keeping score of how many team loses and wins that I have under my predictions for this season. So I will definitely be making more videos here in the future. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys later. Peace out, y'all.